Hello everyone, I'm Dionysius and we're here today with Orlando, and today's topic is SIA license and whether it is still relevant or obtainable by non-Brits.
Mate, I'm sick to death of hearing about the SIA licenses. The SIA license has been how can we put it, a cluster since it came out. But everybody seems to think it's the be all and end all of the close protection business. It's not. Most courses are crap. They give them away in UK to people that's been unemployed for too long. If you've been unemployed for 3 months, you can get an SIA. They'll give you an SIA course so you can go and, instead of being unemployed, be a bodyguard. So that's the value of an SIA course. Now, since before Brexit, and everybody knew this since before Brexit, that it would be questionable whether non-British resident citizens could get the SIA license. Well, you know what? If you're not a British resident, if you don't have the right to work or live in the UK, you cannot get an SIA license. That's gone. Those days have gone. And people knew this before Brexit, but a lot of unscrupulous companies were still telling people, do our courses, get the license, etc. Now, I understand why, I don't know, that some companies were asking for people to have SIA licenses to work in Iraq and Afghan, even though everybody I know that's worked there has not had, or the vast majority, have never had SIA licenses or done the courses. I know there's been a lot of immigration into UK, but I still don't think a UK security guard license, which is what the SIA license is, unarmed security guard license, is particularly relevant to working in Iraq and Afghan. As I said, I know there's a lot of Iraqis and Afghanis in UK now, but I still don't think the country's gone total Middle East yet. So if you want an SIA license, the only way you're going to be able to do it is to get permission to work and live in the United Kingdom. Apart from that, you cannot have an SIA license. You can do a course. You know what? Monkeys can do courses, so...
Okay, but what about people, what about professionals that believe and want to get educated, to get training?
This is where, and again, it's the same as trying to get a driving license. If you want to get into the close protection business, if you want to learn to drive, you have to go to your local driving license school or your national driving license. People approved to give you that national driving license, pass your driving test, and you get a license from your own country. This is where I know one of the things with the SIA license, it's the only close protection license, one of the very few government close protection licenses. And again, the standards is low because I said, if you're unemployed for over 3 months in UK, they'll give you an SIA course. So this is where, if you want to get into the security business, close protection business, in all countries, you're going to have to get your local security license. So first of all, work out how you're going to get your local security license, if you can get it. Once you've got that, then look for other training. Now, when I was in US, we were offering 4-day CP courses and 8-day CP courses. Why was we not offering anything longer? Well, people could not afford to take, 8 days for a lot of people is a long time to take off work. And that time they're taking off work, they're not earning, they're paying for course, they're paying food, they're paying accommodation, etc. In UK, and I think France, they've got the longer courses. I think the French license is like a month-long course. How can people afford to do it? Well, the government pays them to do it. They can get grants, they can get government funding, the government will help pay their accommodation, etc., etc. In most other places, the government is not going to give you money to do a month-long course. That's where most of the courses we provide are shorter courses, because our clients generally have to pay for things themselves. The government is not going to give them free money and free courses, so most people can afford to take extensive time off work, pay for courses, pay for food and accommodation, and not be earning. So one of the issues I see now is everybody wants these accredited courses. The only place they're coming out of is UK. And we were looking to offer them recently, But again, people don't want to pay out of their own pockets to do these courses. It's a lot of money for a lot of people, especially if you're in the security business. So I see there being a void now in Europe. It's not a void in the US because the SIA means BS, means nothing in US. But I don't think many Americans are particularly interested in it. There's going to be a void in Europe now of people being able to get proper training. So you're going to have a lot of people out there untrained trying to get into the close protection business.
Okay, so what will that cause if you have untrained people getting into the close protection business, and what is the cure for that?
Well, the thing is, it's going to go back to being, it's a mess as it is at the moment. There was some very good schools out there before the SIA and before everybody wanted accredited courses, good local schools. And I tell people, if you're looking to work in whichever environment, find a training provider that knows how to work in that environment. Because again, working in different countries, you need to know how to operate in that country. This is where I don't understand why people are asking for an unarmed British security qualification to work in Iraq and Afghan. I know people were doing, what was it, the hostile environment close protection firearms course or whatever BS. But you know what? I looked at that curriculum, whoever approved that curriculum I would say didn't know anything about firearms. Mm-hmm. You don't have to use firearms to do that firearms course. You can do it airsoft. That sums up how ridiculous that firearms course is, but it's a British qualification, so okay. I'm not going to say it's all ridiculous, but about 90% of it is.
Okay, and since we are living in the online world these days, is there anything that Risks Incorporated can provide?
You know what? We offer online courses. We still offer the protective surveillance courses. Physical, but there's only so much as far as close protection is concerned you can do online. You can do a lot of the theory, the research, etc., the planning, the preparation, but you need to get out and do the physical courses. You cannot do everything online. Just backing up, what I should have said this now is, I'm not sure if I said it because I'm getting old and I forget things. There used to be some good schools in Europe, but a lot of them closed because of this SIA BS. Mm. Those schools need to open back up again, and there needs to be more regional training providers. There's plenty of experienced guys out there that's used to working in their own countries, and these people need to get back into business because I see there being a need for the smaller training schools to open up again that's offering good quality training. It might not be accredited, because the only places that seem willing to accredit this type of stuff are people out of the UK. And I'd say whoever the training, the accrediting companies there are bought and paid for. So you turn up with a common sense course, I don't think they'd particularly want it. So these regional training providers need to start up again. That way there's going to be at least a pool of people that have some training, that have some, how can I put it, that have a good foundation to get into the close protection business. And from a service provider, you can have a pool of people that actually can operate in the areas that you're operating in and in the countries you're operating in.
Okay, but one last question about that. But okay, those regional operators, as you describe them, will know the laws and the regulations of where they operate. But how about standardization? If everybody's thinking his own, you can.
This is where everybody says standardization in the close protection business, and I've said it in books, articles, etc. The close protection business is a unique business. Providing close protection in London is going to be completely different to providing close protection in, say, Mykonos. Mm-hmm. Providing close protection in Mykonos will be different than providing it in Beijing. Providing it in Beijing is going to be different than the US. So this is where standardization of the close protection business, and then we're not talking about, okay, we specialize in low profile protection. We're not going to get into the celebrity protection, PSD, etc. So this is where I think the UK was still stuck in the colonial era when they thought that they could standardize everything and be the top. All they've done is screwed up the business.
Okay.
With a Mickey Mouse course that everybody wants for some reason. Maybe because they want to be Mickey Mouse.
Well, Mickey Mouse is somebody anyway. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed what you saw and that you learned something new today. If you want to reach out on the comment section, you can use it for a relevant question, and you can always subscribe, like, share, and all this social media stuff. Thank you very much again.